Hello everyone, Gabs here, Digital Beer Stream, What's in the Glass? Welcome. This is the number 4 show of the week. So we're really happy that you managed to have all of these beautiful guests. And if you are connecting for the first time to the Digital Beer Stream, I'm telling you what's going on. So my name is Gabs. I'm trying to be the best beer communicator, but also not just beer. And today you find out why. And we are trying to catch up with the industry that I am part of and we are part of for all the other members, which is mainly the beer industry. Okay, what is going on in the beer industry? We definitely, you definitely know that we are living pretty unprecedented, sorry for the word, times. That means that we're having some, big difficulties within, every side of the industry itself. Breweries, bottle shops, pubs, venues, people. We all are having a pretty, delicate, time, I would say. And what is happening at the moment is we need to be connected. We need to talk within each other. We need to understand each other. We need to really, address, what the issues are and try to find a solution. So that's the role of a good beer communicator, in my opinion. We started with this show like, I would say, April 2020. So we did 48 different streams, and this is the second season. We choose this different platform where we think is going to work much better for make sure you're all going to enjoy the show. And for everyone that don't know about What's in the Glass, is a digital community where, beer people and not just beer people try to communicate within each other and try to find solutions, points of views, and all the rest. I'm a North London based person, and if you are based in North London, there are some places that you must know. You must know because maybe you like good beers, and you must know because maybe you like good music. It's very hard to find good beer and good music in the same place. Well, sometimes happen. And when this happen, we all must make sure that these places are there to stay. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Black Heart in Camden. It's not very far from Camden Town station, so you have no excuses for not having been there before. And I want to make sure today we are discussing about the best ways to make sure that the place is going to be here when we can go to the pub again. So let me introduce Matt and Mel. Hello, guys.
Hey, how are we doing?
Very good. Very happy to have you here because, as I said, you are part of a beautiful, incredible experience, which is very unique in London and probably everywhere else. Do you know any other good beer and music spots around the UK or even London? I have no idea. Do you know any other ones that you would recommend as well?
I mean, there's the amount of music spots is endless. I mean, there's not so many that dedicatedly combine the two, but I think that, in recent times, that's been more of a thing. Even like standard venues seem to be having a bit more of a focus on decent beer and stuff. So,
True. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. And there are breweries in London, then they're doing their best as well. So I
feel like we're catching up with the States a bit. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the States, like in the mid to late 2000s, and it seemed like the craft beer revolution already happened there. 10, 15 years before it did here, and the venues were already there at the forefront. So,
but it's good to see. It's good to see breweries that are doing live music as well, like Signature are getting onto that at the moment. They put on some good shows.
And I saw collaborations as well with artists. Artists seems to love, the actual mix of the subcultures out there. So definitely I can see somehow craft beer and heavy rock music going pretty well together within each other. What do you think? Is there a link somehow between the cultures?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at things like what the breweries in the States did, like Dark Lord, and when they do Dark Lord Day and things like that, I think it goes hand in hand, I think that beer, alcohol and music, rightly or wrongly, the hedonism of it has always been like a marriage made in hell, so to speak. But I think that people are, we're all getting older, man. We don't want to just drink piss for the rest of our lives. Like, want something that tastes a little bit nice, right? What the hell?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Shouldn't be a crime, right?
I also love the fact that many people, when they associate, craft beer and venues where they make him find great music as well, they tend to think then there's going to be a full line of dark beers like porters and stouts and imperial stouts. That's it. I'm sure normally when the pub is open, you have lagers and pale ales as well, right?
Yeah, so we've got 16 taps, which is not as many as some other bars, but we have our house range, which is Camden. So yep. Camden Hells is our lager, Camden Pale Ale, the Camden Off Menu IPA we had for a little while, and Camden Inc. A lot of people come in and ask for Guinness, but we don't do Guinness because we're independently owned. We're not tied in with we have to have Guinness or we have to have Heineken. We don't have anything like that. We can buy whatever we want, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. And you are making me asking you just a very, very simple question. Many people think that the Black Heart is an integral part of the UK underground heavy music scene and is also a very good beer spot. Can you give me any other, phrases, sentences, or even the essence of the place itself? Is there anything you would love to add to this, description that I just gave you?
Well, the Black Heart is a community. You can come down there, get some really good beers at really good prices, actually, and listen to heavy music. I mean, we're simple people. Those things make us very happy. And I think our community enjoys that as well.
Absolutely. Definitely. I think it's like on the coattails of, the old dive bars of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say we're CBGBs or anything like that, but, we're also not going to paint the place white and get some IKEA furniture anytime soon.
Yes. That's good to hear. Okay, so I'm trying to give the people that maybe didn't have the chance yet, to visit the Black Heart before all that happened, a kind of idea. So we're having a beautiful bar. You're getting inside, and you see, there are lots of also kind of posters and shall we say memorabilia and paraphernalia, music related, heavy music related. Is that how it looks like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Although you can't see that much because it's always nice and dark in there. But yeah, our walls are covered in awesome posters and artwork. A lot of it from private collections and stuff. Like, it's cool.
And I think what we've tried to do is try and, get a bit of a vibe going where there's a lot of interesting things to look at, but it's, it's not necessarily like an Iron Maiden Eddie on the shelf, or anything. So we find like a standard metal bar. It's a bit more sort of, try to be a bit more esoteric, a bit more across the board, a bit less, trad with everything. Having said that, we love all the traditional forms of, heavy music as well. But, we've all been in a bar that has like, that's covered in memorabilia of the bands of the 80s. So we try and mix it up a little bit more.
And fantastic. I think the bands that Matt books, really shows that as well. Like, it's such a huge variety of music that we put on. And that's Absolutely. Why we attract such a varied crowd as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think for especially the Camden scene, which I probably never met because I moved to London in 2012, but I heard before that there were definitely such a bigger scene, so supported by many different places around. And in the most recent years, the Black Heart was probably one of the few, if not the most, important for this scene and for these people. So another reason because we're here discussing about you guys. And we also drink beer, and I'm having a New Zealand-based brewery called A-Wired from the guys that we met yesterday, the New Zealand Beer Collective. And may I ask you what you drink as well, guys?
I've got this thing that I'm going to let you pronounce because you pronounced it so eloquently compared to what I do.
I heard it's Itachino, but again, beautiful white beer.
Yes, a nice Japanese white beer, quite citrusy. I like it, man. It's good. I've got a fancy glass as well. I love dessert, so I thought I'd drink it out of a Knickerbocker Glory glass.
Ooh, I love it.
I'm drinking Mackellar, and we almost always have a Mackellar on draft at the Black Heart. because we love it and people love it, and yeah, it's good beer.
I also have another McKellar lined up as well.
Oh yeah,
and
we always got to have backup.
So yeah, probably some of the best beer out there. And
double backup.
Connecting to the Mikkeller brewery, there is one big question which I want to ask you, and we may need to turn a bit the conversation into a bit more like serious things, but hey, you know, this is part of what we're doing here. If I ask you how the Black Heart has been impacted during this critical situation, what would you like to say, guys?
So like loads of bars and venues, we've been doing the whole open close thing based on the government guidelines. We spent a lot of money trying to adhere to the guidelines, you know, a lot of staff training, and it's been tough for the staff as well. You know, we've got the best team you could possibly ask to work with. We've kept all our staff, everybody's on furlough, so we've been, you know, safe in that regard. But the impact on like the bar and the business has been, you know, are you allowed to swear on here? It has been super horrendous, man.
Go for it.
It's been
whatever you want
terrible.
To say. Fucking shit.
It's been an absolute living nightmare. Like, we turned ourselves inside out trying to make it work. And I think we have, you know, at like less than a quarter capacity in the bar and in the venue. Yeah, we've been unsuccessful with different funding streams we tried to obtain, and that's why we've had to launch a crowdfunder, which, you know, we resisted for basically a year since this has been going on, since we've been closed on the first lockdown. But, you know.
Yeah, I think the crowdfunder was absolutely our last port of call. Like, we really didn't want to go down that route, you know.
Because that's not like our style. It's not our thing to just put our hand out and ask for some money. But we're offering so many things in return. You know, we've got loads of awesome prizes and raffle draws that you can go into. You know, and the big thing this week was a prize donated to us by Euroboozer, and it's a trip to the Mikkeller beer celebration in Copenhagen. You know, 2 people, flights included, hotel included, all the booze and food you can shove in your mouth. Like,
yeah, I'm actually gutted I can't enter that one myself.
Yeah, I think it's. You know,
I've had a couple of mates that have entered, and I'm like, if you want to take someone with you, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be good. But like, that's, you know, our beer partnerships and the beers that we put on, but even people who we may not have had on draft or sold in cans or whatever have contacted us and offered to donate things to put into the raffle. You know, we've got stuff from the guys at We Are Beer, who do the craft beer festivals and their Bigfoot festival. You know, it's tickets to all those. Signature have given us a pack. Camden have given us a pack. More Beer. Brewdog have sent us some stuff. The Mikkeller stuff. Brooklyn. Hackney. Black
And this is just the beer list. This is just the beer.
Like, we've got amazing stuff coming out. Like,
we've got some truly amazing music gifts on the way as well. So, like, you know, you really need to be checking in every week, because we got some of the big hitters with some stuff coming out. You know, so just keep checking back. You know.
Yes, lots of your favorite really big UK bands.
UK stalwarts, you could say.
That's great to hear.
Very, very, very lucky. I mean, we kind of knew that like there would be a certain element of people who would want to help us out. Like Mel said, we never want to just put our hand out and ask for something for nothing. So to be able to give something back, you know, even if it is just being entered into the chance of winning, it's like, you know, it's something we wanted to do, and we've just been astounded the generosity of people, and it really speaks to like the type of you know, I don't like to use the word scene, but the type of people that come through the bar, and the position of, I don't think it's necessarily just about the Black Heart, but where people hold the importance of music and socializing together in their lives. You know, it's an important integral part, and I think that it's going to play a massive part in the recovery of the mental health of the nation. To, you know, and that's why people are so keen to you know, retain it when they can, because I think they know that it's going to be, you know, but you, at the light at the end of this tunnel has to be something fun to live for, right? You know?
Oh yeah. We also need to be prepared for the day that we're gonna be able to, you know, go out again and celebrate. You know, people trying to, you know, have an idea about what incredible parties we're going to, try to organize, whatever is going to be the time, like a new summer of love or whatever you want to call it. You all make summer of whatever,
Don't forget Manchester '89, man. Like, this is the third one that we're going to have. 2022.
Yeah, and anybody that's been to the Black Heart knows there's no party like a Black Heart party. So,
yep,
the hangover would suggest as such.
Exactly.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, the fact that we've got these prizes on offer, and that some of them are sort of physical items, but then some of them were like this amazing McKellar trip, to the festival and to War Pigs as well in Copenhagen, all rolled into one. It's amazing, and it's it's something that people can look forward to. It's a tangible thing that there is a future where you can get on a plane and you can go to another country. Fuck Brexit. And, enjoy the fruits of the world, man. That's why we're here.
I agree. No, well, again, I also, as I said before to you guys, I think I wouldn't, survive in a London that is going to become very different from how we all remember it. So I want to make sure there are good people around, capable to go in good bars and drinking good beer and having a good time, listening good music. That's all I'm looking for, and that's why we're doing this. And there is a question which is going to make me feel very uncomfortable sometimes, and is the fact that you are claiming on the website main page, which is direct you straight in on the crowdfunder page. You say we have had zero help from the government or our landlords. Now, without getting too political at all, why the hell that happened? What's going on in here?
Well, I think that one of the problems is we're working against forces of a tyrannical nature here. Like, we are in a situation that we shouldn't be in. These times are unprecedented. That's true. But I think that there are decisions that have been made at certain levels, not just right at the top, but all the way down the chain, that haven't really taken into consideration the holistic element of how we live our lives. Very, very money orientated decisions, and very, I'm not going to go as far as to say unethical, but maybe, unpersonable decisions that have been made to protect certain elements and not others. And it's unfortunate.
Yep, I really think this is super clear. And what they should do to help hospitality, and why these people then have a bit more, they have the power to decide things. What they should do, in your opinion, guys, or Mel?
I think that the people that make the decisions, they need to include the people who it's going to affect. Like, don't make a decision to put in a 10 p.m. curfew if you haven't consulted the hospitality industry. Like, we're a late night bar. People don't come to the Black Heart till 8 or 9 p.m. and we're open till 2 a.m. So between 10 and 2, when I lose, we lose so much footfall, we lose so much income. It's ridiculous. Like, if you want to put new restrictions in place, or we have to meet new guidelines, we get it. We're not, we want to abide by the rules. We want to make it work, and we have made it work. But include the people who you're going to impact. Like, speak to the hospitality bodies, speak to the people who run, live music venues and that kind of thing. Speak to the Music Venue Trust, who are helping all the venues in the UK get through this as well. Their campaign, Save Our Venues, that's massive, and it's been a huge help for us. And hospitality bodies we're speaking to all the time, but they don't know what's going on either until an announcement's made, and they're like, well, fuck, we weren't even asked. Like, that's not how it should work. And there could be other things like, okay, staff are getting furlough. Fantastic, absolutely, that's really good. Of course, I know a lot of people lost their jobs or weren't able to get furlough. But what about landlords breathing down people's necks? Like, oh my God, you owe me 6 months rent. No, dude, we haven't been open for fucking 8 months. Like, how are we going to pay you that money? Like, but the government needs to back, people who are renting, because it's not fair.
I mean, to me,
one thing and not think about the ongoing effects.
Exactly. If all the staff are on 80% pay, and the whole idea is that everyone's, had to take a bit of a hit, then why is it that landlords are still collecting 100% rent? mean, that makes no sense, right? It's
Nope.
like one rule for them, another rule for everyone else. I mean, that's bullshit. Like that's just prime bullshit right there.
Or give people the opportunity to come to an agreement with their landlord. Don't just back the landlord. Okay, yes, some people that's their only form of income, fine, whatever. But the big people who have got a little bit more money in their pockets, like, don't fuck the little guy all the time.
Well, yeah, and also, like, I mean, without sort of trying to sound like, you know, socialist Joe over here, like, you know, being a landlord shouldn't be your only job. You know, get a proper fucking job, mate.
Not in London. This is not happening in London. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
But,
and you know, anybody that works in hospitality or runs a venue knows how much health and safety you have to, you know, abide by pre-COVID. Like, it's huge. You can't just, you know, whack a keg on and pour some people some beers. Like, there's big background things that have to happen. And,
oh, yeah.
you know, so include hospitality bodies when you want to make up some new rules that we have to abide by. And we can make it work, you know, just ask the question first.
If they'd have asked any bar or pub owner if the 10 p.m. curfew was a good idea, you would have got a resounding, well, no, because you're going to have the streets full of pissheads at 1 minute past 10. And what happened? The first week they brought it in, I actually came out of the tube at Camden at literally 2 minutes past 10. It was like a war zone. It was like being in like a South Coast town at, you know, 11 p.m. back in the day. It was just like people falling over each other. And I was like, this is exactly what the late license, the 24-hour licensing, was brought in to get rid of. Staggered closing times. You know, if people are allowed to stay till the bar at 2 a.m., they tend to filter out when they've had enough, rather than everyone getting as pissed as they can and then at 10 p.m. going into the street and causing mayhem. You know, and like Mel says, any bar owner would have told you that, but the government just seemed to have shut their ears and just, you know, I mean,
well, I think the
government's a very loose term. I don't know who the people are that are making these like decisions right at that moment, but
it seems clear that the people didn't communicate within each other in the appropriate way. So the different areas, different people, different priorities, different desires with different needs didn't meet in the right way. And
exactly.
you mentioned mostly, you know, from a bar point of view, but from a music venue point of view, I'm sure that you were working with sound guys, you know, like sorry if I'm using a very out of fashion word, which is roadies, or you know, like everyone which is behind the stage.
Well, I mean, the only old-fashioned word I would say is the word guy there, because
our sound
engineer is probably the best engineer we could have ever wished for, and she really makes the venue one of the things that people love about it from a band perspective and a, you know, unknowingly necessarily from a audience perspective, because she's the one that really makes it sound, you know,
the way it does. Yeah, that's
I want to give her a shout out. Be, you know, like, yeah, again, you know, if they talk to people in the industry, and when we did the socially distanced shows, you know, people sitting down, we did think about these things. We thought about the sound and how people are going to be sitting down, so we need to dampen areas. There's going to be less people in the room, so, you know, we have to stop the echoing bouncing around. And, you know, these are things we did think about. And I just think, again, exactly what we said, you know, the absolute unwillingness to sort of take the advice of professional people who work in the field every day. You know, I think the socially distant shows we did, I was really proud of them. I think they worked really well, and I've got loads more in the diary that I keep moving, like, cause
I mean,
further and further. So we can't wait to get them back again. We got some amazing shows lined up, and the bands responded to it so well as well. Not just the audience that came, but, you know, I was literally turned my office above the venue into the dressing room so we had more space, and every band would come up and just with beaming smiles on their face, like, you know, I just didn't think this was going to be able to happen. And when you see people's lives being enriched like that, and the fact that they're doing it in a safe way, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. People's safety is a paramount, you know.
It's our number one priority.
Yeah, I believe that the things that we put in place, that, you know, Mel and the bar team have done an absolutely stellar job downstairs with keeping everyone safe and, you know, on the right track. It's very hard then when someone, you see so many people having such a good time and the positive effect it's having on them as people, and they're glowing, to then sort of then have the government turning around and telling you that this is a bad thing. You know, it's quite hard to swallow. It's a bitter pill, man.
I know, I can feel it. Yeah, I totally understand that. And you know, it's like everyone everyone have their own opinion about the situation. So it's really, really hard to give advices or anything. But if we will probably, like be here and saying, this is the next step, this is what is happening, to try to have the best version of our future that we can, aim for. Would you like to name like a couple of steps that we have to go for, like easy ones, or, like whatever kind of steps you were thinking of, like trying to give a trial opening, social distanced, in a couple of months or something like that would be an option potentially, or shall we wait for more time and see how things going? What do you have in mind?
I think the impact on businesses, staff, owners, and all the people that are, supplying bars, everything from the brewers to the cleaners, all the contractors. I think the best thing is wait until it's the right time. We've already had so much time. Open, close, do this, don't do this. Sit down, wear a mask. 6 people, 4 people, curfew, you've got to have food. Like, don't fuck us anymore. Just wait till the right time, because it's just, all our customers, our community, the mental health impact this is having on people. It's just the uncertainty that is so difficult. So just wait until you're certain.
Yeah,
Right.
I think, if you look at places like Taiwan and New Zealand that really sort of took lockdown seriously in the first time around, when it was very, very necessary to, and weren't worried about the commerce of Christmas and all these things. Don't get me wrong, obviously we opened when we could, because obviously we're a business and we need to survive. But if we were told from the start, right, take 2020 out of the diary, we would have adapted to that,
Yeah.
And especially if there was the support and help from the government there. But I think it's this dilly-dallying around. These people are supposed to be, of 60 million people in this country, these people are supposed to be the people that know what they're doing. And it's just like watching a headless chicken. Like Mel said, the constant changing of the rules is probably worse than the sort of, I think people could get their head around not coming to see a band if there was like a, I can't go see any bands for a year. Done,
Yeah.
It's the constant changing and chopping and changing. No one knows where they're at. And then you get people breaking the rules unwittingly because they just can't keep on top of it, and these are intelligent people, it's not like just, dumbasses in the street. It's like, it's very, I just think that there hasn't been like a really cohesive, concise, operation on this. Obviously, like I say, we absolutely love doing our socially distant shows, and I think they were really positive thing for people's mental health. But the way that the hospitality industry has been scapegoated into sort of being made out to be the only problem, and where I'm not going to start naming other areas of society, we all know where they are. But just think that slightly more concise action from the government would have really gone a long way. And I'm not sitting here saying we're all lemmings that have to do what we're told. Oh, we'll wait. Yes, sir, we'll wait for you. But people are looking for direction in this time. It's a very strange time, and the one group of people that are supposed to know what they're doing just don't seem to.
Comments giving you a lot of, they say that you're right, guys. I can see from all the ones that are arriving that pretty much the people think you're speaking the truth. So just to make it clear, we can have Zoom meetings and we can listen our music by Spotify, the vinyls at home, enjoy fully all of that, drinking our beers at home, receiving them in cases, boxes, bags, delivery, by drones, whatever you want.
That's right. Just open your mouth in the garden, like.
Yeah, it is. But it's not enough.
Yeah.
Can't be all. Can't be this forever, right?
Right.
I think the social interaction is like the key,
We are part of a community. We want to be together. We want to hang out together. We want to stay in touch. Okay, so let me put it this way. The crowdfunding campaign, until you are planning to run into, if I can ask you, just to make sure for everyone that are connected right now to know a bit better.
Yeah, there's like another 46 days left on our crowdfunder campaign. The link is on our Facebook page. It's in our bio on Instagram. You can find it on Twitter. It's everywhere.
Okay.
which is really awesome. And we're very grateful for. The campaign's been really good so far. The response has been, overwhelming. There's just not enough words to say how thankful we are for how well it's done so far. Just people who have donated, and people who are giving prizes and stuff to give away. But, the future of the bar does weigh heavily on how successful the campaign is. If we don't meet our target in the day, because you can see, like, there's no bullshitting people here. You can see how long there is left to achieve the target. We may consider extending that. We are going to do whatever it takes to not lose the Black Heart.
We still have
everybody. It's so important. It's such an important place in our community.
Yeah, it is. And we hold out hope that we're not written off the idea that the government might actually step in and give us some help, and let's not forget as well, a lot of the places that did get help, that's not going to last forever. It's not like we're unique in this scenario here. That's one thing I would definitely want to get across, is that we don't think that we're like special in any way. This is like for every struggling, not just bar and venue, but business out there. And the fact that the community's come together, it's been really amazing, and just shows really a positive side to all this, of people coming together and fighting for what they love.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're talking about music there. Sort of the flip side. I like to try and, as someone who listens to quite negative music, I quite like. I've been quite positive over this whole lockdown period of how people have come together. People have been writing amazing music. There's been collaborations that you would just never thought of, and then, as Mel said, like the absolute coming together of a community to save a place that they really hold dear. It's been heartwarming, for loss of a better word. So I think that to really think about the positive things, we can sit here and slag off the people that have done the wrong things till the end of time, but that's not sort of a means to an end, really. I think what's really going to be more important looking forward to the positive things that can come out of this. We've still got some amazing shows that can come. Bands are now chomping at the bit to like really get their teeth into playing shows. So I think, like you say, this sort of second summer of love could almost be a reality. I would call it sort of maybe more like a winter mangle of shows, but it's definitely a thing.
But we want to do it the right way, and we don't want to have to just open, have a nice time for a few weeks, and then bad shit happens. Like, the wider community, the UK, the whole country, whatever, cannot continuously be put through the ringer like this. The tradition of that Friday feeling on a 5 o'clock, no matter where you work, that feeling. It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. You're like, oh my God, I am going.
You can almost taste the beer already, on your way to the pub.
Yeah. Everybody's going to have that itch tomorrow afternoon. You know it.
Yeah, I agree. That smell, when you walk in the pub, like after a hard week's work, and you hit the pub, and you're just like, all right. Yeah. I mean, at the risk of sounding, like a drug addict, because that's what this is. Let's face it. It's the elixirs of life that give us joy, man. I mean, we're only here once. Fucking enjoy it, man.
There are two things that I'm doing almost every day, and one I think is cracking a can of beer responsibly, nicely, nothing wrong with it, and switch on my speakers. I'm just listening for good stuff. So is very important that our future, as you saying, is loud and heavy, and
colorful and bright,
and colorful and
encompassing, and no room for like any of this bullshit like segregation.
Yeah, please, no. I mean, I'm telling you, even think. I mean, I've been in interview many different people for different projects recently, and I tried really hard, to speak about beer as an element. There hasn't been a single person disconnect the beer as an element with social interaction and people. I was saying beer, they were saying people. I was saying booze, they were saying, let's meet up. So clearly, the places are the most important, elements of this industry. And again, a place like yours is so unique and special, and we need to support So I hope that all the people that watch us today realize how important is this from our words, from your words, and I'll try to do my best to to make everyone knows what's going on. And you're doing a great job already, and you're lovely people as well. So sorry for the lovely, but you.
No, lovely is good. We like lovely. Thank you so much for asking us to do this and giving us the opportunity. And thank you to everybody that is watching. Please come back. We miss you all.
Yeah, to use that really cheesy tagline that bands use, we would be nothing without you guys, man.
It's true.
Like seriously, it's the people that make everything. At the end of the day, we're just bricks and mortar. It's the people inside the place that make it what it is. So.
Yeah, you're nothing without your customers.
There we go. You're right. Well, and the industry is definitely rich and beautiful because there are places like yours. So, guys, check it out. The crowdfunder called Save the Black Heart, right? That's the name of it.
Yeah.
So please, guys, go for it. And I wish you a beautiful rest of the evening. We may gonna have a couple of chats more when we finish this. For everyone else, good evening. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.